Hey yo guys, girls, and everyone in between, this is Rebellious Pastry here, and yes, I do know that I am 20 minutes early. I am well aware of that.
Hey yo guys,
I just
girls.
wanted to make sure that I gave everyone enough time to go ahead and ask their questions, because I'm gonna have to go ahead and leave early today so that I can go ahead and do some IRL obligation stuff. Now, I normally do not let things like this interrupt my stream time. I am usually very but since I do have my half an hour slider of what I will go ahead and do as far as timing and whatnot. And since I don't really go ahead and use it very often, I decided, hey, today I can go ahead and start and stop a little early, because I tend to give my guests that flexibility. If I'm in the and the slider is what I mean by slider is what time the show starts and stops. But yeah, I tend to go ahead and usually I'm tell people ahead of time if I go ahead and do it. But since I'm oh, I've got to do my IRL obligation stuff today, I'm oh shoot. So that's why I ended up starting early and ending early. But yeah, I'm gonna do channel announcements. Then feel free to ask me almost any question. I will go ahead and answer most questions that are asked. But if you if I always have the I always reserve the right to not answer something if it's not channel appropriate or if it's too personal. So yeah, if I don't get, I got one question, but I'm just going ahead and going different places to see if I can get more. But if I don't get any more questions, then I'll just go ahead and go on the basis of what's been asked before. But yeah, and also things that I would personally ask on a Q&A. But yeah, in general, I tend to try and make and also with the whole not animating for a while, it was due to some complications with mental complications with the person who was very supportive of the channel for a while, and then they ended up not sticking with me or the channel. So I ended up so I've just been dealing with that, and it's just one of those things that it's getting better, but I still am working on it. But yeah, please go ahead and ask me any question that comes to mind, and if I don't answer it, if I don't feel like it would be good to good for the channel for me to answer, then I'll let you know. But yeah, I have okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my question thing, to my 2 question things that I have. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to the announcement video first, since that's what I posted first. And then if I ever do my ramble and you end up and you guys end up having a question, just I'm gonna finish my thought and then I'll go ahead and answer it, so that I don't like pause mid question. But let's see here. Cool, but is this radio hardcore? What do you mean? This is by Jonah TBO, by the way. So as far as like my computer, as far as the audio goes, if there's any like differences, if there's any differences between this audio and audio from like, I don't know, what day, since my last animation, it is because I got a new computer because the old one had a hard drive crash, and I'm still trying to get used to the new computer. And when I got my new computer, the old settings like crashed. Not like crashed, but my old settings went away. So if that's, and then when they went ahead and when I got my softwares and everything, almost every software had an upgrade, so I had to figure out the upgrade as well. So, like, usually that's not, like, a bad thing, but it's like, oh my goodness gracious, how am I supposed to do this now? I knew how it was on my old computer, but yeah, and then I was gonna get Inktober done by this weekend, but then my drawing tablet's cord frayed completely, so I ordered a new one that is supposed to come tomorrow. So yeah, I'm still gonna be calling it Inktober since that's literally the name of the challenge. Sorry that it's, let's see here. So like your old settings got corrupted? Not like corrupted, it's just that like it's more of the fact that if, let's say, your 3DS broke and you got, hello Vapora, it's basically if you were to go ahead and like get a new 3DS. Hey BK Dan. But yeah, so it's basically like the new computer don't know me as well as my old one, so that is what I'm trying to figure out. Also, this new computer is Windows, Windows 11. My brain thought it was like Windows 13 there for a second. We're not quite there yet, guys, girls, and in-betweeners, but yeah. So my computer now has a touchscreen, which I've been using to go ahead and do hi Pastry, my favorite almost donut, JK. But yeah, it's like, let's see here, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the comments. I thought I had it on. Wait, I went to the but yeah. This has been the first stream I've done alone in a while. Hello, Vapora. It's trying to act like a new friend when it's your old friend. Also, hey, a Pastry. But yeah, but yeah, so I'm basically like getting crazy enough. I'm getting like 2 equipment upgrades that I didn't necessarily ask for this year, but oh well. Also, feel free to go ahead and ask me questions. It doesn't have to be about the channel. It can be about me. I'm just asking that you don't ask me about like the reason of why I haven't been posting, because I've been working on getting. Hello Aru, how are you? And yeah. So ask me questions about the channel. Ask me questions about almost anything. I like to say Q&A Q&A Ask Me Almost Anything because it's like I will answer most things. Oh man. Sorry, I despise touchscreens. The thing is that like if you have a touchscreen, you don't have to use the touchscreen. Oh man. But to be honest with you guys, when I got this computer, I didn't necessarily want a touchscreen. The touchscreen just came with the computer, so I ended up just taking it. When did you first make your OC? So, I'm gonna go ahead and go more into like character lore here. Or like not lore, but like I guess it would be lore. But like I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with what I was saying about my computer, then move on to your question. But like, so yeah, my computer came with a touchscreen, but I'm too used to my old drawing setup to where I don't necessarily want to switch to on-screen tablet because I'm used to having the off-screen tablet. And I feel like the hand would be in the way if I were to go ahead and draw on an on-screen tablet. So yeah, I might go ahead and also get a stylus for this computer, but you know. But yeah, when did you make your own... when did you first make your OC? So, when I first made my OC was back in 2019, which is kind of funny because it's like, back in 2019, I thought I was a girl. But like I ended up figuring out when I was like about to launch the character, or I think I've already launched the character at this point, but all right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with the lore, but slightly personal question, but your avatar has two hair tones. Is that your hair as well? Yep. So basically, like my hair versus Pastry's hair. So like Pastry was built. I'm gonna answer this in like a very like roundabout way, but like I based Pastry based off of a cis version of me. So and at that point, and I still have it, but like I bleached my hair in the front, and then I left the back of my hair a natural color. But like, yeah, I ended up just basing my character off of me. Basically like based my character off of me. Your typical storytime animator, and then Toon Link a little bit. Like when I started drawing Pastry, it was less about what I couldn't draw and more about what I could. So I basically threw together Pastry based off of things that I could draw. So yeah. And also with like Pastry having two different hair colors and having them both be natural is like I didn't see that very much in like storytime animators before me, or like I didn't really see that much in anything, so I wanted to go ahead and transfer. Yep, Legend of Zelda moment, exactly. Which today during like an art class, like I was just we were like doing this final project and whatnot, whatever, but like I might be looking more at like how Toon Link made, or how Nintendo made Toon Link from a 2D character to a 3D character to try and figure out how to make Pastry 3D, which is gonna be something that like I've been thinking about it for a while. Your ears? What's wrong? Oh, did I? Wait. I put my computer in tablet mode. That's what happened. That Windows error was loud. I didn't even hear it. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't even hear the Windows error. Oh man. Why is it that they have okay. Why is it that they make you guys hear the Windows errors? Anyways, I am the one with the A's and you're the ones with the Q's. Why am I sitting here asking questions? Anyways, Pastry, how did Pastry come to be? I'm actually planning on to do that in the future as a video idea, but and then so in 19 I basically spent that entire year on like developing Pastry as a character as far as like what they looked like. I have like back at home I have like these very different-ish, like not that different, but like I tried different things with Pastry, and then I ended up realizing that I liked what I did first better. The original Pastry, like, let's see here, but yeah, I think as like the whole evolution of Pastry continued, I made their hair longer, which is funny because I made my personal hair shorter. But it's but yeah, as far as like I feel like unless you were to get like the voice accurate, it would be hard to go ahead and pick me out of a crowd because of my character. You would have to go ahead and like listen to the voice and be like, "Oh, that's Pastry." But yeah, and then in 2021, I think I was starting to like screw around with what gender I was or wasn't. Technically wasn't, but you know. And I didn't want, since Pastry was such a finalized design, I didn't want the character Pastry to suffer due to the fact that I already had them like made and like finalized. I didn't want that to suffer. So I wanted to go ahead and make Pastry like make me and Pastry separate in that regards, but I ended up making it so that when I drew Pastry's t-shirt models, like officially, I made it so that they had like more of a male structure. And as I like drew Pastry, and as I was drawing Pastry, I decided to go ahead and continue developing anti-Pastry. I originally was gonna have anti-Pastry be a they, but due to like standards, like gender standards and whatnot, and due to how much I get called a she even when I'm not, I decided to make the final like design of anti being a she, and then I also made anti-Pastry straight because like people it was more of like back when I made anti-Pastry, but people expected me to go ahead and be like a girl and whatnot, whatnot. But at this point, with how things are heading as far as like gender and whatnot, there is definitely no way that I'm gonna go back to being a girl. Sorry, guys. Sorry to the people who thought that would happen, but it won't. In fact, like I've been like I of course have to go through the process, but like I've even kind of said in and out that, or like kind of mostly like off the channel, being like, this is not going to be how my voice ends up sounding like in the long term. So like in the future, I'm probably gonna be like messing around with some like transitional stuff, but regardless, I want Pastry, the character, to go ahead and stay the same as far as design goes, because like Pastry is like, I already think that people tend to go ahead and like the Pastry design. Just like if I had to go ahead and like do something with like what I more look like now, and like do something with like that idea, I can go ahead and do that, because like Pastry isn't 100% accurate to how I am, like, and what I look like. So there's definitely something there, but yeah. But so then again, like, I feel like if I were to make Pastry in 2020, if I were to make Pastry in 2021, whoops, I accidentally sent the channel, not the stream, to somebody. Hold on. But as far as like, let's see here. Beep. There we go. If Pastry was made in 2021, they would have looked different, but I I still, I'm gonna keep Pastry's I'm gonna keep Pastry's design as they are, just because of like because of just like how long I took on them, and also like what they've done to help me out with my life, basically. Um but yeah, please let me know if there's any other questions. If not, then I'll just continue talking about like Pastry's development. Oh man. But so like the whole like hoodie concept was, the reason why Pastry's in a hoodie is, one, hands are hard to draw, and it's like a good loophole to not to draw hands. And then two, I that is a lot of lore. Yeah. Um which I'm going to go ahead and go into that in a video in the future. But yeah. Oh man, there's even like, when it comes to lore, there's even some of the lore that I don't feel comfortable sharing yet, because it's like because it's a very sensitive story that, like, I'm gonna be brutally honest, I haven't fully processed yet. So there's that. But yeah. um I if I were to make like a Pastry sub-series, which I would go ahead and wait until I went back to like making the main channel stuff. But like, I would probably incorporate some of that deeper lore into like more of a story format if I were to go ahead and do that. But yeah. Um it's fine. That's a lot of lore. Yeah. Um why is Pastry lore? Um so like, I of course on the channel I tend to go ahead and be like, I am Pastry. But when it comes to like off the channel, I tend to think Pastry more as like Pastry as like the character, I tend to think of more as like a child. Not fully though, because it's like but yeah. Like, I would never go ahead and I would never kill off Pastry in a sub-series, because like, it wouldn't like make sense for the story to continue without my character in a story when it's my story. So, you know. But yeah, when it comes to like if I were to go ahead and make a different character other than Pastry as a self-insert, I feel like I would kind of have to kill off Pastry, which I would never be willing to do. Which I've thought, like, I thought about, like, doing that, like, I don't know how long ago, but, like, I am not killing off Pastry. Also, Pastry got their official copyright, so they're protected under my name. They're protected under my name. So, yep. But yeah. Let's see here. Where was I going with this? Anyways, does anyone have any questions? Because this is supposed to be a Q&A. I was just going into lore because I don't have any questions. And I feel like some people would ask for lore within, like, questions. So, you know, like, but yeah. And I've like, oh man, I seriously need to get back into, like, actually animating. It's been too long. But yeah. It's so much harder to go ahead and type with a touchscreen keyboard, I swear. But yeah, let's see here. A lot of lore. Let's see here. And then I have lore between Heyo guys, girls, and everyone but I literally have lore between oh man. I literally have lore lore behind my intro and outro too. So like, when it comes to, like, how I think, I tend to think a lot about, like, things like lore and whatnot. Or, like, just have a lot of, like, thinking behind, like, everything. Because, that's just how I am. Somehow I managed to turn how I overthink into, like, more of, like, irrational thinking. oh crud, I was actually listening to it to, like, a podcast. I forgot it was a Q&A. I'm sorry about that, Vapora. Oh man. But yeah. Should have made that one more clear, but oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick. I could make it queer if I wanted to, but, like, I'm gonna make a quick, like, ask me questions thing. But yeah. Whoops. But yeah, me questions. But yeah, that was very sloppy because I'm literally drawing with my finger on my touchscreen. So, but yeah, we'll make it do. We'll make do. But yeah, can you guys hear the keyboard clicks? I don't know. Let's see here. What is my favorite fruit? So back in my childhood, I used to like strawberries a whole lot, and then I got extremely burned out of strawberries. Like, I'll eat them again today, but, like, I got extremely burned out of strawberries, so I ended up doing. All right, ask me questions. There we go. Sloppy ass handwriting. Um, there we go. Um, but um, I I can hear the mouse clicks. Yeah. Um. Anyways, um, ask me questions. I was okay. So, during my childhood, my favorite fruit was strawberries, but the notifications and the clicks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute. Let's see here. Mute the. But yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, I just like with the mouse clicks. I think the mic picks it up, but when it comes to like the error, I thought it would just drown those out, but nope. Anyways, oh my goodness gracious. I'm so sorry, Gloria. My brain. But yeah, let's see here. I can also hear the mouse clicks. So yeah. But I did eat a lot of strawberries, but um the funny thing is that my favorite fruits are actually mangoes. And that have not my absolutely favorite fruit have not changed since I knew what a mango was. But like there's some close seconds like I keep on forgetting like what they're called, but like guava's pretty good too. Just like any tropical fruit, which is kind of funny because I would never live somewhere tropical because the heat would kill me. But what was your favorite but yeah, what was your favorite game console to play on? And this is also by Gloria. The question's also by Gloria. So I back when I was a child and even still today, whenever I'm playing games with my family, I tend to go for Nintendo consoles and strictly Nintendo consoles because it's like um I um because like I for one Xbox is annoying with how like their buttons are on the in the wrong spot, and two, I've always just felt really attached to Nintendo, even though their whole copyright rules are kind of messed up. But um, but yeah, I my first ever console that I ever played on was the Wii, and then the 3DS, and then the Wii U, and then the Switch. I I'm noticing how it's interesting to me how like Nintendo is finally letting like Switch players play things that are usually on both Xbox and PlayStation. I find that one interesting because with but then again with a Switch you can't get like games for the Switch on the Xbox or on on the PlayStation. So I've been like a Nintendo loyalist for my entire life pretty much. Minecraft is an exception. I like playing Nintendo too, but PlayStation controller slaps TBH. But yeah, it like I always went for Nintendo, and I find like learning a new controller extremely hard. I did hear that like with Xbox, there's ways to go ahead and like reroute the buttons. Which the funny thing is with the whole here's how I figured out that Xbox and Nintendo had like the buttons in the wrong spot. So like I was playing with this was when I was younger. I was playing with like my parents' friends at their house, and
and they wanted to play Xbox with me. I was like, sure thing. And then like I couldn't even get into the game because every time I tried to go ahead and select a character, I always kicked everyone back to the start, back to the title screen because it's like the B button should be on the bottom. B stands for bottom. Not right. But yeah, Xbox, my opinion is Xbox has their buttons wrong. So that is why I tend to go more with Nintendo. The B and the A are swapped, and the Y and the X are also swapped. So, like, if you were to ask your person who have forever played Nintendo but now is going to the Xbox, please make sure to warn them that the buttons are in different spots. Because that would have been good to know. But yeah. Oh my goodness. As far as like my favorite like game, I know you didn't ask me this, but like when I was like a child to like early teenager, I liked Zelda a lot, even though I wasn't the best at puzzle games. It was just one of those things like, oh my, yeah. It took me like, I know you guys didn't ask me this, but it literally took me a year to find the a boomerang in Ocarina of Time. Because I rage quitted a few times. But yeah, just so you guys know, the reason why I'm emphasizing on these questions so much is because I am getting so little questions. So that is why I am taking taking every question a mile deep, because like I know this wasn't asked, but like whenever like show hosting, it like with fan interaction, you just gotta have like a plan for if like the fans don't interact, because it's like either a bad time for them or like whatever, what, or like the stream is just dead for some reason. There's just always like a backup plan you need to do, like not fully a backup plan, but like a backup enough to where like you always need something to talk about, even if someone doesn't hand it to you. And yeah, I need to get back to the stream. My channel, stream, um, plushies, yay or nay? So let's see here. So the answer to if I'm gonna have plushies or not is, I have like a personal like a pastry plush that I got made by like a company, but as far as like plushies, um, as far as like plushies, in general, I'm gonna say, like I have a like specific sub goal that I am tying the plushies to, which I'm gonna say it's a pretty far up there, but that's because I want to make sure that I I want to make sure that I have everything like up it like shoot sorry, my brain sometimes forgets what it explains in the middle of explaining it, but due to like an ADD-ish type disorder, which I will explain in a video, but like so I am not planning to do plushies until I hit like 100K. Like it's gonna be like, I think the silver play button. It's like the silver play button like special, because it's like I have other priorities other than um, but yeah, I will definitely make plushies in the future. I just want to go ahead and be like a fully functional getting money. Like I don't do this channel for the money. I do it because of like mental health, I guess. But which I've been more open about in this last year just due to just or like ever since like my grandma died last year, but like yeah. I I want to go ahead and in the future have like um a pastry plushie. I just don't want to go through like the work of getting them for like such a small count. So like I'll talk more about it when I hit 1K. How about that? Um and then I'm going to go ahead and continue with the plushie streamline and then answer like the plushie streamline of questions, and then I'm going to go back to the have you ever had thoughts on a gaming channel? Um I got a few plushies, yeah. Um I I have like this like tub of like Webkins plushes that I um have at home for safekeeping because I was like a Webkins child. Um most people I'm finding out that most people were like more Club Penguin children. But like I was a Webkins child. Um and then I forgot what the other one was called. But oh man. I I hold on. I need to go ahead and write down like the idea to go ahead and have a story time about Webkins. I swear. Oh, Webkins. And then as far as like the plushies I took with me to where I'm at currently, I have my pastry commissioned by a company like Plush that I tend to sleep with every night, and then I believe I brought a Build-A-Bear Pikachu and a Build-A-Bear Eevee with me. Which is like somewhere around here, but yeah. Um um got a favorite plushie. That would be my pastry plush. Um and as far as the plushies go, the only character that is going to be guaranteed a plushie at this point is Pastry. Because of the fact that like other like every almost every character I have is built on the real person, and some people who characters have been built off of decided that they didn't want to be with like not with me as in like you know what, but like friends with me anymore. So I've it's just been hard to go ahead and like keep the same characters on over and over and over again due to that. And then oh yeah, I asked all right, if how all right, so with the gaming channel, will I ever have a gaming channel? The answer to that is no, because it's like because when it comes to like how like what I decide to um go ahead and do on my channel is like if like my rule of thumb of like making things is like would I watch them I if they were made by someone else, such as like storytime animations. I will go ahead and watch storytime animations if they were made by somebody else, but I wouldn't necessarily go with a gaming. I just don't have an attention span for gaming channels, and I don't want to make something that I wouldn't watch myself if someone else made it. And then as far as so therefore I will not do any gaming streams either. As far as like, and also there's um shoot. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, and then like another reason of why I'm never gonna have a gaming channel is I like this is less so with storytime animators, because like with storytime animation you can go ahead and like make 10 people can make the same video, but they're all gonna end up different. Like, but with gaming, it's harder to go ahead and make things different, because it's like, so what? So what? You're playing the game and screaming at it. Why do I want to watch you versus like someone else who is currently screaming at a game on stream right now? Like, what makes like what when it comes to like gamers, when it comes to like my friends with like gaming channels, I tend to like I'm not like hard in a mean way. It's just more like, so you want to go ahead and be a gamer. You want to go ahead and be a gamer and do a gaming stream, and then and it's like, so what makes you different than the gazillion other? What makes you different than the gazillion other gaming channels? And it's just like, I'm mostly talking about game streams at this point, but like it's just one of those things of like, I would rather just do storytime animation, which YouTube is really not favoring storytime animation right now, and me and smaller channels are wondering why that is. Like, yes, there's a lot of us these days, but it's like no matter what, we all are gonna have like slightly different, we're all gonna have like different thoughts and how we go ahead and process things. Like that's how we have so many random thoughts videos by like so many different storytime animators. I feel like if I were to go ahead and make but yeah, understandable. It's kind of hard to stand out when you're a game live streamer / gameplay maker. Yeah. So for that reason, like, I feel like with gaming, I can go like, there's probably people already out there that would do what I do. So but but yeah. But if a gaming channel asked me to, or if someone who I knew, in real life, or if it's like a game that I can go ahead and connect with, like, over online, and if a gaming channel asked me to do a collab with them, I'd be like, sure thing. Because I wouldn't be personally making the video. I would be, just more of the fact of, it would be more of the fact of it's a collab. But yeah. I for whatever reason, my brain always tends to tie the question of why don't I do gaming with the question of why do I do storytime animation? Because it's like, my brain just connects the two. Like, think about this. Think about this. Like, there's identical twins out there, and it's impossible for both twins to to end up being the exact same person, because it's like different different things happen to them, and like different like and they probably even process things differently. Like, it's impossible unless we were to go ahead and use cloning. It's impossible to have like two people experience things the exact same way. And it's just it's just like very mind-blowing. But then again, with the whole cloning thing, like, yes, um me and Pastry 2 would be the exact same from the get-go. But if you were to go ahead and put me and Pastry 2 in different situations, then I feel like eventually me and Pastry 2 would act completely differently. Because it's like eventually the clone is going to go ahead and experience things differently enough from me to where the clone ends up being their own person as well. So but yeah, and then like people just tend to think about things differently, which, and there's some people who tend to think about things way differently than the common standard, and that's where being neurodivergent is from. Um my elder former stepsons are I my elder former all right, so my former stepsons are identical twins, but yeah, they're completely different people. So yeah, regardless of how you put it, there's no way that you would ever get, like, even with doppelgangers, like, even when people somehow manage to go ahead and look the exact same, um, I, they still aren't gonna act the same, because it's like, they've experienced things differently. And whatever, whatnot. But yeah, yeah, it's just one of those things that it's like, yeah, um, how did I get all of that philosophy from that one question on if I was gonna do like a gaming channel in the future? Um, and that, my friends and Donut Batch members, that's how I say I am a good, wait, yeah, that's how I say I'm a good talk show host, because I can go ahead and, like, just based off of like a few words, I can take it a mile and a half if I want to. And that's how me and Hiho end up making fun of Pay Goat Banana Cricket for like 4 hours. But yeah. Oh man. But yeah, and it's, wait, I thought something moved for a minute. But yeah. Um do you guys have any questions about like I'm trying to think what would be different than like what have been done in the past Q&As. Such a wise pastry law. Yeah. The thing is that when you're so different from the standard, it's just like, how am I going to deal with this? Like, how am I going to go ahead and, yeah, I think deal with it's the right word. Like, how am I going to go ahead and function if I think so differently than everyone else? Answer: learn. Learn how you think, and just accept the fact that other people will not think the same way as you. Oh man. Um which to some people, I so like um the question I have for life right now. Wait, are you left-handed, right-handed, or am ambidextrous. I am right-handed. Um and um I've tried, so like during like other shows I've tried to draw left-handed. Let's just say that I use my right hand to draw everything on the channel because it's like um because it's just like easier for me to draw that way. And I don't want to go ahead and um change, yeah. But if I were to break my right hand, then I'd probably learn how to draw left-handed. But the question there would lie, like if I was just as good with my left as my right, would my drawing style be the same between hands, or would I be like drawing one style with one hand and another style with the other? But yeah, I am not ambidextrous by any means. Which means if I were to break my right hand, then I wouldn't have a good time with life. But yeah, um, right now I'm using my right hand to go ahead and like, um, click through things. Um, but yeah, um, which the other day during an IRL obligation, I learned that there's some horses that are trained to have left-handed handlers. When I didn't know that, like you had to have the horses trained differently for left versus right-handed handlers. Um, which I mean, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like, um, but yeah, if you guys need ideas on like what to ask, you could go ahead and ask me anything about the shows. Um, you can ask me more about me, I guess. Um, you can ask me about almost anything, literally almost anything. Um, but yeah. Um, um, I'm just trying to figure out what question I should ask next. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the first one I was asked during this session and be like audio. But yeah. So, I've been like struggling on getting my, yeah, it's because hello Nacho Taco. Um do I have a favorite Pokemon? This is going to sound like a generic answer, but Eevee. Um And something funny. Like one day as a joke, someone asked me what is my least favorite Pokemon. My answer my answer was Sudowoodo because like at that time I just thought they were just completely useless. But but yeah. Um and then that ended up being just how how that went. Also, I'm gonna put my view counter back up. Also, feel free to go ahead and share this stream with others. But yeah. Um so yeah, my favorite is Eevee just because they can go ahead and like turn into so many different things. Like like Eevee can go ahead and turn into Jolteon, um Leafeon, um my brain can't remember all of the evolutions right now. Didn't you say Dratini was the worst? Let me go ahead and look. But yeah, I said Sudowoodo. I never said that Dratini was the worst. I said it's here. Shoot. I got distracted. Which a little bit of distraction makes for a good stream show. Too much distraction, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing in the middle of your show? I stared across, my social stuff when I first got here. But yeah, ask me almost anything. But yeah, but who is truly my least favorite Pokemon? I still do not know. I don't really pay attention much to the Pokemon fandom just because I at this point I like to go ahead and just I like to go ahead and give like smaller shows more more like watch time just because like what's your thoughts on Skibidi Toilet? Oh my goodness gracious. I hope well wait, I'm gonna go ahead and you have audio attention deficit. Oh, squirrel. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Shoot. Where did my thought where did my thought end? Let's see here. What's your thoughts on Skibidi Toilet? Skibidi Toilet, the memes can just fucking die in a fire. Bro, you better not skip the Skibidi. Skip the skip. Oh man, you should have been here during like say it 10 times fast or say it. I think I said say it 10 times fast because like skip. But yeah, Skibidi Toilet. I want the memes to die out right now. I get so annoyed with them. And it's just like some poorly photoshopped. It's just like some poorly photoshopped dude stuck inside a toilet. Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, just so you guys know, I know this is not like this like no one have asked this yet, but I'm gonna specifically ask that please do not ask me if I side with Israel or Palestine. That is my own personal business, and if you know me off the channel, then we can talk about it there, but I'm not gonna answer any Palestine or Israel type questions because it wouldn't be for the best of the channel. And also I feel like also in general when it comes to like politically, I'm just gonna say this, I tend to think about things extremely different than most, which I can basically say that regardless of what people believe, I tend to be half wrong or like to most people they would consider me half wrong. So I just want to leave it at that. But yeah, no questions relating politics unless it's like I guess technically like gender, but gender shouldn't be like, or lack thereof, like gender related stuff shouldn't be considered Um, um, but yeah, and also I'm not gonna. Um, I remember from a past Q&A, like the whole like what do you believe in question, and to that I answered like I believe in the golden rule, and I'm not gonna go ahead and tell people like if you know me off the channel, great. I'll go ahead and tell you what religion I am in. But when it comes to like on the channel on air, I will not. I refuse to say what my religion is because I want every religion to go ahead and like not um to like feel welcome here, if you know what I mean. I don't want anyone to feel like they are not welcome at the channel because they do not share my same religion. Um, and in general, how I tend to go ahead and handle like friends with different religions, which is most. I tend to just be like, your religion is your religion, mine is mine. Let's leave it at that, and just don't be transphobic about it. Um, sorry, I choked on my own spit. What? But yeah, um, what other questions do people have? Um, um, what other questions do we have here? Ew. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I choked on my own spit as you were eating. That was very, very, very. Oh my goodness gracious. I didn't necessarily tell you to watch my stream while eating. I didn't necessarily tell you not to watch my stream while eating. So, what happens on air while you eat is, um, let's see here. Have you ever filled out job similar to me? Can you please reword that question? I don't understand what you're trying to say. um, you should spread holiday cheer now. Yes, indeed. I am probably not going to do a Christmas special this year or like a holiday special just because like I want to go ahead and just start off with the whole what happened video, and then my plan is to go what happened to New Year's to whatever the fuck else I think of. I'm probably gonna wait. Um have you ever filled out jobs similar to me? Read my factoid. Um do 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 do. Um let's see here. But yeah. Um let's see here. Oh man. um so I'm gonna take that as, when do you think people should start celebrating Christmas? My answer to that, if you're like, I guess if you celebrate Christmas, the time that everyone should start celebrating Christmas is on Black Friday, because it's after Thanksgiving, and um and I don't necessarily think one should go ahead and wait until December 1st. That is just silly. But like so I don't understand why Walmart puts out there how they go ahead and put their Christmas decorations out a week after they put out their Halloween ones. Like, what is this? I once saw somebody putting the Halloween dog hats on the on some wooden reindeer, and my mind's like, wouldn't that be fun to do? But yeah, in general, but yeah, let's see here. I think that Christmas should be started to be celebrated after Black Friday, or on Black Friday. But yeah, it just seems unfair how some Halloween or some holidays get and also I shut my drawer somehow. I have a drawer under my desk that I'm currently using. Not the drawer, but the desk that I'm currently using. Um, but yeah. Um, Merry Summer Mass. Oh man. Oh, LMAO. Santa or Christmas starts when Santa ends in Thanksgiving parade. Let's see here. Will you ever listen to Tally Hall? That depends on what Tally Hall is. My answer is it depends. But yeah, I'm surprised that I haven't gotten the whole what do you use to animate question, because that's usually on every Q&A. But everyone's probably like, I've heard that answer before. But yeah, no. Just so you guys know, not a fire alpaca. Just so you guys know, Moho 14 came out like not too long ago, and I got it, but I haven't really used it yet. So, I might just be figuring out what new buttons they have on it, and probably use the same old ones that I used during 13.5. But you know, but yeah, let's see here. Linux decided to crash on me while I was searching something up. Tally Hall is a rock band. So I am chill with the people who like rock, but I don't really like very many rock songs, just because it's heavy on the drums, and just it just sometimes a lot can happen in those. Happy Hana Kwanzaa. Yep. But that's a mouthful. Anyways. Happy holidays. There. Happy holidays. There. But yeah, something that I would find interesting is if Hanukkah or Kwanzaa was celebrated more than Christmas. But yeah, definitely one thing I definitely want to go ahead and do one year is go ahead and celebrate Hanukkah. Alrighty. You can also send them in DMs. But yeah. Does anyone have any questions about having a stream show? Or any questions about the shows? Have any questions about audio games? or the hobby interview show, or any other, or any, or like yeah, or like any like random work stream questions, um, or any other questions that could go ahead and be asked about the show, because like not a lot of people ask me, like a lot of people watch these shows, but I have never had like a question about why these shows, what these shows, how these shows. Do people not have like questions about like um audio games or the hobby interview show or anything? Cuz like I can go ahead and answer any questions about them. When's the next interview? Um so I'm going to say who and um what, or when and who, because so I know it's going to be next week. Um Calendar. Um so next week my hobby interview show is going to be with Ice El- Ice Elemental. And it's going to be on traveling, I think. Traveling with Ice Elemental is our next up hobby interview show. Um let's see here. I guess people like to hear you talk. Um was there any mishaps? Was there any let's see here. Any mishaps this year with cooking? But let's see here. Was there any mishaps during cooking Thanksgiving dinner? No, actually. Um, the funny. All right, so wait. The funny thing is that like we haven't had a mishap during Thanksgiving, but we did have a mishap with with like a Christmas. I actually made a video about that. It let's see here. And then like there was like before I could remember, there was like a mishap during the Super Bowl, which for those of you guys who don't live in the States, the Super Bowl is like basically like our football isn't everyone else's football because we decided to be unique. I honestly think that our football should be called, I think football should be called soccer and soccer should be called football, but you know, um hold on, I need to find it was all the way last year, but I'll go ahead and find it for you guys. Oh yeah, when Mama Pastry almost burned down the house. So this is the video about the mishap that happened on on Christmas Eve. New era sneak peek. Be right back. Alrighty. Um, Christmas. That's right. That was the first video I've ever seen. Even in the States, I don't know what the Super Bowl is. It's basically a huge sports game that ends the football season that people choose to go ahead and use as like use as a time to go ahead and do but let's see here. People tend to go ahead and throw big parties and get themselves hurt on not channel appropriate beverages. And it's just craziness. The Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is a pretty mid holidays in my opinion. All I know is Mr. Beast Wait, let's see here. I'm gonna move to live chat. All I know is Mr. Beast made a These Nuts commercial for them. I don't remember that, but then again, I don't really watch the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Oh, I fill it with Captain Crunch. Oh man, I'm guessing that we don't really have American football fans in the crowd. But yeah. Which fair point. We are but yeah. And then there's like a lot of like politics with sports that I don't want to get into. Just oh my goodness gracious. Anyways, the Super Bowl, I fill it with Captain Crunch. Fair point. But yeah, Mama Pastry did go ahead and accidentally caught her hand open on a can. That year, and apparently I was like running all across the ER. Fun times. But anyways, so no, to my knowledge, there's never been a Thanksgiving mishap. Which, knock on wood, hopefully it's not 2024 when that happens. How many corners does a semicircle have? Depends on your definition of corner, because I would say 2. You're good. You're good. You're good, BK Dan. Oh man. I knew that you weren't yelling at me for something I did, so you know. Something I did or didn't do, so you know. It's all good. You're not like stop streaming, you dumbass. But yeah, as far as like when I started streaming, it was during, hold on, I'd have to check the date on like when I first did my live stream. Back to my channel. My channel. And then scroll. Wait, no. Lives. Scroll. I've done a ton of these shows. My goodness. And then let's see here. I first streamed on 2020 or my first ever stream that I kept on. Like I had a few others that were kind of rocky, but I first started streaming on the 16th of January of 2021, which a lot of like I probably have gotten way better at shows since then. I fat fingered the caps lock button and didn't realize. Oh my god. But yeah, I know that you're not mad at me. If you were mad at me, you would hop off the stream right now, which would be a mistake. But that's beside the point. But yeah, but yeah, there we go. Sorry if I'm clicking a lot. I've just been like switching around. Let's see here. Hand 16, so your question, so your channel is an Aquarius. No. My when I first launched the channel was actually on December. The first time I launched, so like when this YouTube channel launched, it was on, let's see here. I'd have to see how old this. It was, I think, the 29th of December of 2020, of 2019, not 2020, 2019. And then I started actually doing my channel during 2020. Let's see here. Should I make an unboxing video? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your channel. That is on you. But if you want to get views on, like, you opening something, then you should do a unboxing video. I feel like it would go ahead and be good for your, would be good for your view times if you were to go ahead and do it versus not do it. But I can't tell you what to do on your channel. That just wouldn't be a good friend and a good creator of me to go ahead and tell you what to do on your channel. I don't like to tell people what to do for like their channel very much. Like I have suggestions, but it's like take it or leave it with a grain of salt. I'm just trying to also do YouTube too. And yeah, Aquarius, that's okay. It's okay if you misspell. I sometimes have to look up words for thumbnails to make sure that I make sure that I don't misspell stuff on the thumbnail, and sometimes I still manage to misspell stuff on this thumbnail. But yeah, I'm just bad at spelling when it comes to just things. But yeah, you're good. I'm gonna go to the live chat again. But yeah, let's see here. I'm not used to these reaction thingies yet, but yay! All right. All buttons aside. What other questions do people have? About streaming, about anything. I'm back from an A&A episode, probably an object show. Take it or leave it. Take it. Take with a dollop of glaze. Say, dollop of glaze because you're a pastry. Yep. Have always been and always will be. Which, more pastry lore. Should I make a unboxing video for my new PC? I would say go for it. More pastry lore. I forgot what I was gonna say. Wait. I just found a new button on Streamlabs, guys. Wow. Pastry lore. Yeah, I would probably make an entire video of like just pastry lore stuff. I forgot what I was going to say. Why duh. Anyways, please go ahead and ask me more questions. So that I don't like forget what I was doing again. It's not a theory, it's a carb theory. Thanks for watching. Oh man. But yeah, all jokes aside, if I were to do anything on the side of like regular storytime animation, I would probably do like an adventure like thing, just because it would be like better. Um, like it would be more entertaining for me, and it would probably be like a comic book. But yeah, um, storytime animation is way harder than I thought, especially if like you take a break. Um, you've all you've ever wanted to know about pastry, but forgot to ask. It would be funny if everyone's if like next year or not next year, if next week everyone's like pastry Q&A, and I'm like, I just did one. You guys weren't there. But yeah, um, what other questions do you guys have for me? Um, comic books. Like a man Valali. I don't know who it is, who they are, but I yeah I would just go ahead and like do more of like a webtoony type thing. Which would go ahead and I would go ahead and do like a webcomic thing, and it would be like um I would include things that wouldn't be necessarily channel appropriate in the comic book, because I would want to keep things more entertaining and like more a little more I'm not Aman Valali. I am I wouldn't be a girl in a comic book or in real life, so you know. I'd be that yeah, I feel like if I were to make a comic book, it would be very different than like most of them out in existence, because it's like because I tend to go ahead and like think about things differently um than like average. But yeah, I would probably make like a comedy comic with like every romance plot failing because I'm a romantic. Um but yeah, a romantic. Um it does the comic for Marvel too. But yeah, do you guys have any more questions? I can go ahead and pull up ones from previous Q&As if you want. Home. Let's see here. No, I'm not gonna do that because I feel like that would just be recycling things that have happened. But yeah, um, I'm just looking for more Q's so I can give out more A's. Imagine if it's a Q and F, question and fail. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Hey, everybody's different. That's the normal. But I am definitely different than what people would consider normal. Most of the time I'm happy about it though. But sometimes it's frustrating. Um, can you guys believe it's almost December? Oh my goodness. Should have done October by now, but you know, life happens. And then just so you guys know, the stream season is about to end soon as well. But next season is definitely gonna be very like amusing too. So I wouldn't go ahead and be sad because this season is over or is coming to an end. The only reason why there's different, let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, those are song lyrics. Zool, do you have any other questions for me? Um 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 have any other questions for me? Or okay, since no one has any other questions, does anyone have any suggestions for like what videos I should do next? Um, Other than like the what happened video, which I am still trying to go ahead and get my energy to go ahead and do. Emotional energy because it's gonna be a lot. What time zone? I am in Mountain Standard Time. I am in Mountain Standard Time. Which I would say is a good time zone, honestly. No matter what time I choose to stream, it's gonna be somebody's 1 a.m. But usually those people tend to go ahead and watch later on. Instead of just like they tend to go ahead and either there's one fan that likes to go ahead and stay up and watch my stuff. And I literally told her to go to bed often. And she's finally listening to me. 2 hours behind. Yep. I feel like that MST is pretty comfortable of a time zone to have a show in when it comes to like the states, because it's like but yeah. Um as I know no one asked me about this, but the Discord server. I'm probably since life happened and I didn't get to 1K this year like I thought I would. I'm gonna probably just give it or do the server announcement like in soon. Um Most of my YouTube friends are in Central. Yeah, I tend to be let's see here. Um Sorry, I'm just DMing somebody real quick. Favorite Christmas movie. I would have to say my favorite Christmas movie is Elf. Favorite Christmas food. Prime rib. Favorite Christmas song. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. I like it because it's just how wrong it is. But yeah, nothing against grandmas. It's just a really funny song. She had too much eggnog, and then she got ran over by a reindeer. Oh my goodness. My favorite Christmas food. Technically, this deserved during Christmas Eve at our house, but prime rib. Um, I feel like Christmas food is more diverse than Thanksgiving food. I'm not a big I'm not a big ham. Like I'm not a big person, not a big fan of ham because like I used to eat a ton of it when I was a little child. And my first oh man, sorry, I'm laughing at this, but my first ever word as a baby was ham. Why? What was going on in infant Pastry's brain that is like, I'm gonna say my first word is ham? Why? Why? Anyways, I digress. This is probably what makes me a good talk show host. Do you have any other questions, Hat Slippers? You need to look and listen to, Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off Santa. And then the night Santa went crazy. Oh man, are those I'm gonna listen to them, but and probably let y'all know if like it's if those songs are channel appropriate or not. But yeah, oh man. I just like the like dry, like not like dry necessarily, but like the very like sarcastic like bullshit kind of things. But yeah. I don't like to take things too seriously, especially on the channel. Of course, if there's anything that is warranted, if anything warrants to be taken seriously, then I'll take it seriously. Other than that, not really much to take seriously. I feel like my quality of life would just plummet down to zero even on the channel if I were to take everything seriously. Because they're on YouTube. But the thing is that there's some things on YouTube that I don't like to mention on my channel. But yeah. But yeah. Does anyone have any more questions? Don't take life seriously. I'm gonna go back to live chat. My foot fell asleep. Ouch. Seriously, no one gets out alive. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man. Like that was such a bad joke that it's so bad that it makes it good. I love really bad jokes. Naughty Santa went crazy is weird. The naughty Santa went crazy and it's weird. Oh my goodness gracious. Santa. Oh man. You're good. But yeah, weird night. Oh man. Best board game and why? Oh my goodness gracious, there's so many to choose. Best video game and why? why is the farming game goated? I don't like to play farming games. Best board game. I am a dad and I'm allowed to make dad jokes. The funny thing is I am known for dad jokes, even though I'm not a dad. And people are like, Pastry, stop it with the dad jokes. I'm like, deal with it. Deal with it. But yeah, best board game, I would have to give it to, as far as like playability and like everything considered, I would say Exploding Kittens, because it is basically like, it's basically like Uno but with more rules, but it's basically an harder. It's a harder version of Uno, and it's so funny because it's like it is as if Uno and Russian roulette had a baby. And it's just such a funny game. And it's like, or hot potato. But it's basically like you use Uno-ish type cards to go ahead and dodge this exploding kitten. And, the person that don't explode wins. I am not, for the record, I am not sponsored by, Exploding Kittens. I wish I was, though. They have such good games. Let's see here. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. My God. If anyone blames me for the fact that if anyone blames me for dad jokes on this episode, it's not my fault this time. But yeah, let's see. Best video game and why. I already said what. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna say, I already answered that previously in this Q&A. But yeah. Just so you guys know, the next Q&A I'm gonna do is gonna be like, wait, no, I tend to do pastry trivia, or like, yeah, I tend to do pastry trivia as like a season opener. Wait, no. I tend to go with Pastry Stater when it comes to like season openers, because I don't need any other guest but myself, and it's easier just to go ahead and my personal favorite is Munchkin by Steve Jackson Games. It is also one of my favorite games, but I went with Exploding Kittens because it was easier to play, and I can get more people to play with me. I've even made a video. This is a really old video, but I even made a video about playing this game, but I didn't necessarily say I didn't necessarily say the company's name, because I didn't want to have issues with copyright. It's like a really old video, but I'm still gonna go ahead and put it in the stream. But yeah, Munchkin, definitely a good game. It's just hard to get people to play because it's so like dependent on the card. And the fact that they even had to go ahead and put a rule in, that's like, if if someone debates the rules so much that if there's something that isn't in the rule book, then it's up to and a decision can't be made on that specific thing. Then it's up to the person who owns the game to go ahead and figure out Now the question is, if both people own the game, if both people split buying the game, then who wins? The like whole rule debate. But anyways, yeah, there's so many different things. There's so many different videos that could be made off of that game, I swear. Another good game is Betrayal on the House on the Hill. It is basically like where you guys like build this like house thingy, and it looks different every game because of like based off of where the tiles go and everything. And then as soon as like you get like to a certain point, like and there's like a different scenarios and whatnot, but like the game like flips. The game flips, and you basically there's one person who ends up betraying everyone else, which betrayal I feel like is a very like it's a very like a tropey thing to like think about, but betrayal is very real. But yeah. But yeah, someone betrays the rest of the game, and then like it's up to like either like it's either what, oh man, I can't think of words. So either like the team of people win or the individual wins. And I yeah, they could play rock paper scissors. Lizard spork. Spock. Oh man. But yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah. I almost won that game as the single person. Um, then someone decided to kill my monster, so they won at the last minute. And I'm like, why? Why can I win this? But yeah, that's also a fun game to play. It's a little stressful to go ahead and like be the single person though, because it's like you have to read your rule book alone, because if you read it with it, because you're not supposed to show what you can and can't do to the other players. And yeah, oh my, but yeah, I haven't really been playing many board games lately, just due to what is your favorite do you play a hold on, I'm gonna look up what that acronym is real quick. Oh yeah, tabletop. Okay, I thought tabletop was only one T. Tabletop are RPGs. I would if I knew like a group that played tabletop tabletop RPGs. I would go ahead and play if I knew a group that was playing, and also if I had time, because I'm planning on to, even though I had to take a break due to mental health reasons, I'm planning to get back onto the channel as soon as possible more. And also IRL obligations. And yeah, I want to play D&D again, but it's just up in the air at this point. I would if I could. I'm not against playing them. It's just like so hard to find a group of people who actually wants to play it. But yeah, and the surprising thing is that like people aren't as big into like board and like RPGs as much now as they were like back when, before video games, because they made video games too good. But yeah, hey, I understand. Real world happens. I do find it funny how like your R is lowercase and then EAL is just like capitalized. But I'm not gonna give you too much crap because you deserve. I've been playing D&D since '84. Wow. But yeah, yeah, I did try D&D once when I was in high school. It was just hard. You're good. You're good. I tend to joke around with people about like different like spelling mistakes and whatnot. I shipped my best friend with a spell correct because he managed to turn positive into 3 words. Oh my goodness gracious. I still wonder how he managed to do that though. Positive. That's now how I'm spelling positive. Just to spite my friend. But yeah, I still tease him about it. But if you can't joke around with your friends, then what good are they? But yeah, anyways, does anyone have any last minute questions? Or do you want me to go ahead and say my outro and get out since I have to go ahead and leave early? Which I started the stream early so we could still get like the same amount of on air time because that's really important to me. Because this channel is very important to me. I just wow. Yeah, I prefer if people don't dox their age on air or on our chats. But yeah. Or on air. But yeah. If anyone has any last minute questions, say it now, or I would say forever hold your peace, but forever hold your question until the next Q&A, which I try to do like 2 to 4 of them a year. It just depends on how like the audio game slots work and whatnot. But yeah. Anyways, closing announcements are I'm going to be working on getting more videos out. It's just like I'm probably going to change this, but like I have like 2 very emotionally taxing videos in a row. Man. Okay, later's Pastry. Nice hanging and picking your brain. Oh, yeah. I don't discriminate towards age on the batch. Just be chill. Closing announcements. I will go ahead and get more videos out. Inktober. I'll go ahead and post as soon as I get my new drawing tablet and draw the living crap out of my life for a few days. And yeah. Anyways, I don't have a guest to ask, hey, do you have an outro? No. Hey, do you have an outro? No. So I'm just gonna say mine. And also, please let me know if you have any video suggestions. And yeah, I platonically love you, my donut batch, and see you in the future to come. Bye.